Welcome back. Let's face it, it's easier to start an argument than it is to finish one.
Yeah, that's right. And this morning we're going to find out just how to put an end to that argument with your significant other, and once that emotional roller coaster begins.
That's right. Or better yet, how to keep one from happening in the first place. Gail Nelson is here from Journey Counseling. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, it's tough, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned that if we're going to learn how to end an argument, it's better to learn how to start one.
Well, you know, really, this interview could really, like, end my business. If everybody just learned how to do this, they wouldn't need marriage counselors, would they?
No, they wouldn't.
That's a lot of time I spend in the office. We actually debrief their last argument, because that's usually what sends people, and it's like, that's it, we've had it. This is not a good sign of how our relationship is going. People can tell when it's over the edge, and they don't like it at all.
Yeah. So what's the best way to start an argument? Because the emotions are strong, and you just want to sometimes lash out. Let them know how you feel.
Well, and I like to call up Stephen Covey, the idea of begin with the end in mind. Wouldn't that be if we just knew a little bit more about what we were hoping to be the result we want to create at the end? I want my partner to understand I'm upset. I want my partner to understand I'm really afraid about something. I'm really wanting my partner to know something. That's not typically how they start, are they?
No.
They've gone on inside of our head for a long time.
Festering for a while.
There's a lot of things that are incredibly important to us, but at the same time very hidden. Maybe sometimes even to us. Sometimes you ever heard yourself argue and then you just like say this thing and you're like, oh, yeah, well that's it, that's what I mean, but like, where did that come from? To wander around a while till you find that thing you really want to say.
Meanwhile, the argument's getting bigger and bigger. So what would be a good way to start? If something's on your mind and you want to make sure you approach it in the right way?
Well, and John Gottman has a great idea for couples, and he's really the marriage counseling guru, because he said if you can do the soft start, where you can understand the intention of your partner. Like, I know they love me, I know they care about me. You know, if we could start that way instead of thinking, oh, they're just not paying attention, or all their intentions are just so disabling to me in the way that I just don't feel connected to them. But if we could start with remembering somebody's intention, that would help.
So give us an example, please. What would you say?
Well, let's pick out something somebody's really upset about. So, you know, recently I was working with a couple, we were debriefing something, and we were just trying to figure out what was going on. And a lot of times for couples, it's happening at all the wrong time. So we're standing in the kitchen and we're trying to make supper, and then this thing pops up, and then we have this argument, and then there's all things going on. Or we're in the car with our kids, and then, you know, it's just not the right time and the right place.
Right.
So the very first thing would be just be a little more careful about where you have these conversations. Try to the best you can, even if you know it's going to get started. Can we wait and do this in a little while when I can think about it a better?
In the car, kids, put your headphones on. Put your earbuds in.
You're going to have an adult conversation.
To have a conversation.
What would be, you know, if someone needed that quick tip or that just little kind of what's one thing I can do to make this stop? Because some people don't have trouble getting it started. They know which buttons to push.
Well, and that is the hardest part, isn't it? Because that amygdala, that part of your brain that feels threat, is going to start to fire, and especially your partner is going to feel that anxiety and upset from you, and then they're anxious and upset, so confusion is the result. So another thing, if we can just try to take a little more time, slow it down.
So, honey, I love you. I'm upset about something. I'd like to talk about it with you. Take a couple deep breaths, something like that.
And it's a mixed message, isn't it? Because have you ever gotten that message like, we need to talk? Like, ah!
Yeah.
People freak out about that too, so it's all in how you say it. If you can keep your presence of mind, if you can keep your spirit about you, that this is about something I really care about, and then say that.
I want to be heard.
Right.
Okay, much more with Gail Nelson when we come back.